Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Andy Cohen breaks silence on Karen Huger's one-year prison sentence. Andy Cohen is filled with sadness amid Karen Huger's prison sentence. Nearly a week after a judge ordered the Real Housewives of Potomac star to spend a year behind bars as punishment following her fourth DUI arrest, the Bravo host broke his silence on the reality star's legal troubles. "I haven't been on since Karen was sentenced, and I don't have much to say," Andy told fans on his Sirius 7 radio show Andy Cohen Live March 3. "I will say I am thinking of Karen every day. I've been thinking about her a lot, and I'm so sad about this. I'm so sad about how this entire thing is played out. I am a Karen fan. Drunk driving is no joke. It's so bad. So that this was her fourth situation was tough to hear. And the 56-year-old believes the punishment fits the crime. I'm not surprised that the judge was not playing," the Watch What Happens live host added. "I'm not surprised at all." Andy also noted he was shocked when co-star Giselle Bryant claimed during the reality series' March 2 Season 9 reunion episode that Karen, 61, allegedly turned down multiple plea deals that could have potentially kept her out of confinement. "Hearing what I heard on the reunion from Giselle, who said that she heard that she was offered a plea and home confinement for 6 months, he recounted in disbelief. Who were her lawyers who were recommending going to trial on this when there was body cam footage like that? It's so sad." Of course, Andy is referring to that incriminating footage of Karen being arrested last March after she crashed her car near Bethesda, Maryland. She was later charged with 8 crimes, including driving a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, driving a vehicle while impaired by alcohol, and negligent driving of a vehicle in a careless and imprudent manner, endangering property, life, and person. Following Karen's February 26 sentencing, several of her castmates reacted to the news their co-star was going away for the next 12 months. "I really do encourage everyone to keep Karen in your prayers," Ashley Darby said during a February 27 appearance on the Tamron Hall show. "I really care about her. And I learned this on the train coming here today, and I cried like a baby, I did." Meanwhile, Giselle told Us Weekly February 26, just hours after the news broke, "I am shook. I do not have her wigs. I am concerned. In all seriousness, I am concerned for her safety. Karen ain't cut out for jail." Andy Cohen Live airs weekdays at 10 a.m. ET, and binge RHOP anytime on Peacock. Keep reading for E's official ranking of every housewife to see where Karen lands. Andy Cohen breaks silence on Karen Huger's one-year prison sentence. In the world of reality television, few personalities have the boldness, charm, and unapologetic candor of Andy Cohen. As the executive producer and host of the popular reunion shows for Bravo's The Real Housewives franchise, Cohen has seen it all. From explosive arguments to tearful confessions, Andy is no stranger to the scandalous, dramatic, and often jaw-dropping moments that come with the territory of reality TV. However, nothing could have prepared him for the storm that was set to hit the Real Housewives of Potomac's cast when news broke that Karen Huger, the show's iconic Grande Dame of Potomac, had been sentenced to a one-year prison term. For weeks, fans speculated, tweeted, and speculated even more. The mere mention of Karen Huger and jail time seemed like an unthinkable pairing. After all, Karen, with her haute couture looks, larger-than-life personality, and her ability to wield a quip as sharp as a sword, didn't seem to fit the mold of someone even remotely involved in legal troubles. But, as fans know, the Real Housewives universe often lives in the intersection of absurdity and authenticity, and the storyline that emerged was equally as baffling as it was compelling. The world was rocked when news of Huger's conviction spread like wildfire across the tabloids. The initial reports painted a picture of a woman who had gotten caught in a web of deceit, tangled in a financial scandal. According to sources, the charges stemmed from accusations of tax fraud and embezzlement, involving millions of dollars that were allegedly funneled through a series of shadowy accounts. As news outlets plastered the story across the front pages, the public's perception of Karen Huger was shaken to its core. Many were left asking, how could this happen? And, more importantly, what would Andy behind the highly successful Bravo franchise? Andy Cohen has been through countless media firestorms, but this one felt different. This one hit close to home. Cohen, who had been a champion of the Real Housewives series for years, was suddenly thrust into a scandal that affected one of his most beloved stars. And, of course, as is always the case with Andy, fans turned to him for answers, for guidance, for clarity. In a rare and candid interview with Entertainment Weekly, Cohen finally broke his silence on the matter. This whole thing has been incredibly difficult. Cohen began, visibly affected. I've known Karen for years. She's more than just a reality TV star. She's a friend. And I've seen her struggle and triumph through so much over the years. This situation, it's heavy. It's a lot to process. But at the same time, I've always believed in accountability. And sometimes life throws you curveballs. What matters is how you deal with it when it happens. Cohen went on to express his deep admiration for Karen's resilience. He reflected on the moments that had defined her on The Real Housewives of Potomac, her larger-than-life persona, her unapologetic confidence, and her ability to make any room she walked into feel like it was hers to command. Karen is a woman who knows her worth, and she's never been afraid to let the world see her truth, even when it's messy or complicated. That's why people love her. She's real, even when it's hard to be. And this is just another chapter in her life. One we all didn't see coming, but that's what makes her journey so compelling. It's not perfect, but it's hers. Fans, of course, had been on edge ever since the story broke, eagerly awaiting Karen's own statement, but the radio silence from the reality star had only added fuel to the fire. Speculations ran rampant, with people questioning whether Karen's absence from social media was an indication of guilt, or if it was simply a sign of the emotional toll the situation was taking on her. But Cohen remained steadfast in his belief that Karen's silence was a form of self-preservation, a way for her to process everything before publicly addressing her fans. Karen is a master of controlling the narrative, but she's also a person, Cohen said, his tone softening. We've all watched her over the years, and we know that she takes her image, her family, and her dignity seriously. She'll speak when she's ready. We just have to give her the space to do so. Still, Cohen knew that the stakes were high. This wasn't just another dramatic season final. This wasn't just about a catfight or a messy dinner party. This was real life, with real consequences. And while Cohen himself had always been a deft manipulator of the drama in the Real Housewives universe, this situation felt different. The very foundation of what the show was built on, high drama, messy relationships, and moments of profound personal vulnerability, was now colliding with the gravity of real-world legal issues. Look, I know people think that The Real Housewives is all about the drama, the fights, and the glamour. And in many ways, it is, Cohen admitted. But the truth is, these women, including Karen, have to face their own demons too. They're just like the rest of us. No one is immune to the challenges of life. This is a hard situation, and Karen will have to navigate it the way she always does, with grace, poise, and, of course, a little bit of flair. The public was divided in their reactions to Karen's conviction. Some rallied behind her, citing her unwavering confidence and the way she had carried herself on the show. They viewed her as a symbol of strength, a woman who had overcome the odds time and time again. Others, however, expressed disbelief, questioning whether this was all part of an elaborate publicity stunt or a misunderstanding. But Cohen, as always, chose to focus on the bigger picture. It's easy to get lost in the drama of it all, Cohen said. But at the end of the day, Karen is still Karen. She's made mistakes, like we all have. But she's also given so much of herself to this show, to her family, and to her fans. And that's what I choose to focus on. In a final thought, Cohen offered a hopeful message for both Karen and the fans who had followed her journey since the very beginning. I believe that Karen will rise above this, he said. She's a fighter. And no matter what happens, she's not going to let this define her. She'll take this, learn from it, and continue to be the powerhouse we know and love. As the world watches Karen Huger's next steps with bated breath, one thing is certain. She may have been sentenced to a year behind bars, but the story of Karen Huger, her rise, her fall, and her potential redemption, is far from over. Whether this is the beginning of a new chapter or the end of an era, one thing's for sure: the Grande Dame of Potomac will never be forgotten.